Okay, so this is me and Robbie's project. We got pre-colonial era. During this time, Native Americans, it was mainly that. There was no real writing, it was mostly oral tradition. So throughout this, you're going to see many different things with our Native American, and we are going to interview different people about some like myths that they might know. Hope you enjoy it.
Once there was a man with his weapon. He used it to fight and to beat people. But he wanted something more, something else but beating people with his weapon. Something that will bring people happiness and fun, not pain and suffering.
Try this. What? Wow, that was actually fun. Explain. I don't like hitting people with this. You know what? I'm gonna call this MLB. Okay. We are back, and now we're gonna look at the lives of how the Native Americans and the colonists lived, and what was different. Now, the Native Americans, some of them lived in trees, and they used rocks as weapons, or they used sticks and stones, anything they could find as weapons. Now, they didn't evolve faster than what the colonists did, and let's go see the colonists right now. And now, the colonists, now they're walking around, he's walking around they've improved the technology. They now have called it a gun, which they use as in a war. They used as hunting. And wait, what? No. I'm here for no. And he just actually shot me. He shot me. And you can also use the gun as a
So, I am here with an actual Native American from the pre-colonial era. He's here to talk to me about some of his myths and times. So, Mr. Native American, why do Native Americans use oral tradition?
Well, we use oral tradition because we didn't have any paper back there, and it was much easier just telling the story or telling the myth that we believed in and then writing it down because we didn't have any paper. So that's how we came up with oral tradition.
Didn't things change from voice to voice? I mean, multiple people were turned in, multiple people could have interpreted it differently.
Yeah, it did change. Like, there could have been some parts that would change to it, but most of all, the story was the same. It just, you could have had different story types in it, because every person is different, and they wanted to add their own stuff into it.
So, what is some myths that you know?
Well, some myths that we know are the sun, that there was like a god. That was one of the myths that we know. And another myth that we know, actually, I have it with me right now, is, well, this is the action figure, but it was a transformer. And the myth says that the transformers, they can transform into cars. Yes, but the transformer, it was tricked into when it was in the car, it had to stay as a car, and that's how it became cars.
But this is back in pre-colonial times. How did you know they had cars?
The God, the mind-reading God that my tradition believes in, they taught us that in the future there will be cars, and these things would turn into them, and then that one day they would get tricked.
And that one day they get a movie named after them?
Maybe, or maybe two. Don't know. My God hasn't told me yet.
So what's another myth you know?
Well, one myth that I know that doesn't have to deal with that is the myth of...
So, what's a few more myths you know that we could tell our viewers?
Well, one myth is that it's about the flower. Now, some people may think that the flower came upon that you would just plant it and plant a seed in the ground, and boom, a flower would come up. False. Now, 3 gods were a part of this. You have the earth god, the rain god, and then the sun god. Now, all 3 working together came up with this magnificent thing that we call a flower today.
Huh, that's really nice, actually.
Yeah, I know. People don't think about it. What you actually do? It's a magnificent process.
What else?
Well, look at the ground. You see rocks everywhere. Now, the myth that came up with the rocks was that the earth god was mad. So he shook the whole earth. And all these scraps, metals, like all these scraps and everything, became rocks. Now rocks, they can help people, they can hurt people if you don't have any shoes, they can hurt when you walk, but they can also use as a weapon. Now, they can actually hurt someone. I killed him. I've injured someone with the rock before.
Well, that shall not be given to the police whatsoever.
Yeah. Now, we have one more myth that I am very proud of. It is the myth about water. Now, the earth god, after he made all this stuff, he said, I need something else. Like an all-purpose thing that I need to keep things going, to like keep things alive, to water things. And so, the earth god decided, why not make this liquid that can help people and help animals? So, he came up with water. Now water, I use to bathe myself, if you can tell. Now, I use it to drink, we use it to wash out stuff, like wash out our tools after we kill something. And, well, water will help us grow our food because it came from the earth. And whenever the rain comes down from the rain god, that helps us a whole bunch. So we don't have to carry the water and the loads that we have to water it.
Huh, that's awesome.
Now, we already had an interview with the random bystander, and now we have found 2 random bystanders. Now, I got a question for you guys. Do you guys know any myths that you guys know of?
I heard gingers don't have souls.
There we go.
Wow, that is a myth that I did not even know. Now, do you know any myths?
Oh yeah. Más vale pájaro en mano que ciento volando.
Okay, we don't know how to speak that language, but we think that's a good myth too.
Thank you.
Good myth. Thank you guys. You guys have helped us a whole bunch. Let's get out of here now. Okay, now I got a question. Do you know any myths or anything?
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ich verstehe nicht, was Sie sagen.
Well, it looks like we found someone there with a different language.
Again.
Now, again, and this is kind of awkward right now. Me too, Iko.
Okay. Ich glaube, ich verstehe so halbwegs, was du mir sagen möchtest. Mythos? Okay. Ich erzähle euch mal über einen Mythos. Wir haben einen Mythos in Deutschland und zwar ist da ein Regenbogen und hinter dem Regenbogen ist ein Goldtopf und wenn man da hingehen sollte, dann findet man hinter dem Regenbogen einen Goldtopf.
Now, that was a myth, I think. I can't understand, but...
Maybe she could translate.
Yeah, can you translate what that means or no? Translator.
Oh, of course I can speak English. Why didn't you say that in the beginning of... Oh my god. Alright. So we have this myth in Germany, it's probably not only in Germany but also mostly in Ireland, that if you go far behind the rainbow you will find a pot of gold.
Well, this was more complicated than what it should have been. And this may be my last time interviewing, because I am tired of finding people with different languages. I am out of here now. Goodbye.
So there you have it. Leprechauns come from rainbows, gingers have no souls. Who knew? Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day.